NewsChannel 5 on your site presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Hello, everyone. Good to have you with us on Kaleidoscope. This is Kaleidoscope, and we're going to begin today with the Vice President of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, Renee Harvey. She's going to join me in just a second to talk about the Share Foundation highlights from 2016, and will tell us about some new programs. We'll also hear from the President and CEO of Karamu House, Tony Sias. He's here to share information about the upcoming renovations at Karamu House. And on the broadcast after that, founder and CEO of Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center, Veranda Rogers, will be here to talk about how she's helping girls and young women through her mentoring program. Good afternoon again. I'm Leon Bibb. Always good to have you with us. Here's Renee Harvey, Vice President of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, one of our regulars here. Hey, Renee.
Great to see you.
Good to see you. I hope things are well at the Cleveland Browns.
They are.
As far as the Cleveland Browns Foundation, we'll stick with that. We talk about scores. The sports guys will talk about the team and
That's
all
right.
of that. Refresh us on what the mission of the Cleveland Browns Foundation is.
Sure. So the Browns, we speak three different pillars. We have, of course, winning on the field, which we will certainly correct. But we also have our commitment to our fans and giving back to Northeast Ohio. And those are the three things that we preach inside our organization on a regular basis. And so giving back to the community really falls not only on the Browns, the foundation, but also Dee and Jimmy and what they do personally. And so through the foundation, we're really focused on investments in Northeast Ohio. And so the work that we do is really targeted at identifying problems and eliminating barriers. We believe that every child deserves a high-quality education, regardless of their zip code, their race, their economic status, or their ability level.
So this is really about more than just playing on football on Sunday afternoons on the football field. The Cleveland Browns are all over the community.
We try to be. Yeah. We feel like that's part of what we should be doing.
You've had some highlights, some wonderful highlights for 2016, haven't you?
We have. We're very proud. Obviously, with Dee and Jimmy being so civic-minded.
The owners of the Browns, the Haslams.
Correct. We've been able to increase our grant giving each of the 4 years that we've been under our new mission. So very excited that this year we'll surpass our $1 million mark. And that includes a mix of some of our partners that we've had for quite some time, but also a couple of new ones. And so we've been able to add support to the county for their universal pre-kindergarten program expansion, as well as expand our program with Shoes and Clothes for Kids with a program called Special Teams Package.
Tell me about this Special Teams Package. Well, what does it do?
So this is actually, it was really born out of the work that we do with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. We've been supporting their attendance campaign for a year. And through dialogue and conversation with the school district, they really identified access to clothing and uniforms as one of the key barriers keeping kids from school. And so we've been working with Shoes and Clothes for Kids for a very long time and really brought them to the table and asked if they'd be willing to maybe expand the work that they do and deliver school uniforms and clothing directly to the students. And so this year that will happen starting in January. Very excited. We'll be able to facilitate these packages, which will include 3 uniforms, casual clothing outfit, underwear, socks, and a shoe gift card directly to families that are in need. And then we'll be able to connect that back to attendance and really track that and make sure that it's making an impact.
We're looking at some of the photographs that you brought along of some of the things. We've just gone through a couple of photographs already. This is vital, isn't it, in our community?
It is. It is. And we're hoping that, attendance sounds so simple, but it really has long-term impact. So most of the time what happens is kids with lower attendance, you see their lower test results, and unfortunately it also affects graduation rates. So we are trying to do what we can to get kids in school, but there are a lot of issues surrounding attendance and reasons why kids aren't making it to school.
You really get their attention when you come in and you bring in the name of the Cleveland Browns. So now you've got the kids' attention. So you can use that Cleveland Browns name to open up the door.
We hope so. We certainly hope so. There are a lot of great partners involved with the attendance campaign. Arby's and Uniforms for Kids has actually helped in the Special Teams package as well. So it's a community effort, and it's really about raising the awareness that it's important that kids go to school every single day, that it has a long-term impact. And so hopefully we can do our part in helping to get kids excited about going, and so the district and schools can really do their job and do that very well.
Yeah. As the Vice President of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, Foundation, how do you keep all of these footballs in the air? You're juggling all these footballs in the community. How do you keep them all up in the air?
We have an amazing team. I have a great staff and support system throughout the organization, and it's part of our culture, and so when we ask, they're all in.
This is part of the culture of the entire NFL, right? NFL teams do this, don't
absolutely. Yeah. Social responsibility is key across the NFL. What you'll see in each market might be a little different because it's a bit, you know, it needs to be reflective of what's happening in each community, but for us, it's certainly education and supporting youth football efforts are really at the cornerstone of what we
On occasion, you get the well-known ball players involved too. I mean, the kids know the names, so you get the ball players involved in this as well, don't you?
Of course, we do. We like they have a tremendous platform, and kids pay attention to them. And if we can help them and give them a voice, we can really make a difference with them. And a lot of them stay involved well after they're done playing as well.
You get something personally out of this too, don't you? Don't you get a satisfaction?
Oh, it's amazing. I continue to be amazed by the work that a professional sports team can do and the impact that we can maybe convene conversations and bring people together, and it's amazing to use the brand in a positive way. It's fascinating.
Well, we appreciate all that you do and all that the Cleveland Browns organization does, the entire organization, including your area, the Cleveland Browns Foundation.
Oh, we appreciate it. Enjoy it.
We're going to work on the football side of it.
Yes, we are.
That's all coming around.
It's coming around. We believe in it.
Every party you go to, somebody mentions all of that. So I'll throw my 2 cents in as well.
They'll get it right.
We're all working on getting it right, but certainly the Cleveland Browns Foundation has long been getting it right.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Renee Harvey, she's Vice President of the Cleveland Browns Foundation, and she'll be back with us. She's one of our regulars here. Keep us apprised of how it goes.
Will do. Happy holidays.
And to you too. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to talk about what's in store for Karamu House, that long-time theater in Cleveland, on the east side of Cleveland. Tony Sias, its CEO, is here. He joins us after we do this first. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Karamu will be undergoing some renovations in 2017. Its president and CEO, Tony Sias, is here to tell us about that and about the production now underway at Karamu. It's called Sister Act. Hey, Tony.
Hey.
How are you?
All is well.
Yeah, all is well. And all is well to the Karamu House, that wonderful theater in Cleveland.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's been around for about 100 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're 101 years old this year.
And you're looking so well, too.
Thank you. Thank you.
How long have you been? Now, you've been the CEO over there for the last...
year and 2 months.
Yeah, so it's working well.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about what's going on at Karamu Theater. What you have planned, what you envisioned when you took over as the CEO.
Well, one of the first things we completed was our strategic plan with a new mission. And our new mission is to produce professional quality theater, provide arts education and community programs for all people while honoring the African American experience. So elevating the quality of work that's on our stages, to provide diverse forms of entertainment beyond theater, and to ensure that we have community programs that engage all, and that includes the millennial population as well as elders.
So you've got something there for everybody, every age group.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got a production going on right now, Sister Act.
Yes.
Yeah, that's drawing pretty good reviews, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Rave reviews. Tell me about Sister Act, why you chose to produce that one.
Well, Sister Act is one of those shows that speaks to evolution and change. And so the lead character, Dolores, her boyfriend does a little tricky business and happens to kill someone, and she witnesses it. Yeah. But she's put in a nunnery and a convent. And as a result of her being there, she really inspires these nuns to be more connected with their work as vocal musicians. And it is a story of acceptance, change, and love.
And got some music involved and
got
all
some
of that?
Great music.
Great music involved?
Yes.
Now, Karamu is, my notes tell me that you're doing some renovations, and I've seen some of those renovations because I'm over there every few weeks or so.
Right.
Tell me about the renovations that you have in mind.
Well, fortunately, we just got finished with the roof on the theater wing of the building, so that's phase 1. Starting in March of 2017, we will close the entire theater wing down and do renovations to our Jelliff and Arena theaters. So we're very excited about that. That renovation should go from somewhere between March to to November. In the interim, our last show of this season will be produced at Cuyahoga Community College Eastern Campus, and that show will be You Can't Take It With You, a Kaufman and Hart comedy. And we will continue early next year to produce our events in the community, as well as some smaller works at Caramoo in our concert hall.
As we said at the top of this section of the broadcast, Caramoo's been around for about 100 years. And it started by a family called the Jelliff family. What do you think the Jelliffs had in mind? Are you keeping in with what you think they wanted this to become?
Definitely. I think one of the things that made Caramoo unique, it started as a settlement house. And settlement houses were developed to welcome immigrants from around the world. And the Caramoo House was the first settlement to welcome African Americans. And so aligned to our mission to say for all people, when you come and see Sister Act, you see the diversity of Cleveland's community on that stage, from age to ethnicity, and it's a wonderful experience. So the spirit of what the Jelliffs had in mind in terms of multicultural theater, non-traditional casting, is very much alive at Caramoo today.
You have been in theater for years now. What is it about theater that drew you in and keeps you in?
It's the power of change and to be able to look at life on the stage. It is my passion. It's what I know how to do. So that's what's kept me engaged. And I started at the age of 5, and I was playing Jesus in an Easter pageant, and my dad came and he saw the production, and he says, "Why is the devil playing Jesus?" so
that's what your dad said.
That's what my dad said.
But you forged ahead.
Forged ahead, and I'm so pleased to be at the head of Caramoo and to be a artist and administrator. I want to put a phone number on the screen where people can get more information as we continue our discussion with Tony Sias, who's president and CEO of Caramoo. And that phone number is 216-795-7070. You can get more information on everything we're talking about, or even get in line for the Sister Act or any of the other productions that come out of Caramoo. You can also go to caramoohouse.org, caramoohouse.org. There is something about theater that draws us, isn't it? Yes.
That draws. We of course, we need bread, we need water, we need shelter, but we also need art, don't we?
Yes, we do. And to see art on stage, you see people that are like you, different from you, and that you have the experience. You know, in theater, it's a rehearsal until the audience gets there, and it's a reciprocating relationship. Very different from when you go to see a film, but the actors are feeding off of the audience, and the audience is fully engaged in the experience. So we come together to see it, to be a part of it.
You know, I'm there regularly. I was there for Blues in the Night. That was the last production I saw, Blues in the Night. Such a wonderful production. And I saw the WEWS there. Absolutely a wonderful place. It's one of my favorite places in Northeast Ohio is Caramoo Theater because of what has come off that stage and flowed into my life, and how I think it's made me a better person just to sit and watch your wonderful actors and singers and dancers on stage. So we salute you for what you've done.
Thank you. We welcome you to come back and return to the stage at Caramoo.
Well, I'll sneak in. I'll come in from stage left. I'm always looking for another stage. I got this one right now, but we'll find that. But we'll get together on that, Tony.
Fantastic.
Many thanks. Tony Sias, President and CEO of Caramoo House. 216-795-7070 is the phone number on everything we've talked about. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Okay, as they say in theater, break a leg.
Will do.
And that's all a good thing. I'll be right back in just a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm always glad to have you in touch with us. Miranda Rogers is the founder and CEO of Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center. She joins me now to explain now and how her organization is helping girls and young women realize their potentials. Good to have you with us, Miranda Rogers.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Tell me, what is Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center?
So Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center is a nonprofit agency dedicated to teen pregnancy prevention. We're also dedicated to restoring hope and possibilities within young women who have had unplanned pregnancies, as well as preventing subsequent births to young women and girls within urban communities.
You have your hands full, don't you?
Absolutely.
You got a lot going on with that.
Yes, but but this is a mission of mine.
Yeah. How did you get in this mission? What prompted you into this?
So I actually got pregnant at the age of 16, and looking at my family dynamics, and my parents worked very hard to put myself and my brother through private schools, and when I told my parents that I was pregnant, it was like a drastic blow to, you know, their dreams. But I look at my own family dynamics, and a lot of women, you know, didn't do anything, or we had children with no fathers around. So I said that I would never be a statistic, so I strive to do more. So therefore, I am an example that if I can do it, anybody else can.
Tell me what you do. How do you help young women and girls who may find themselves in the situation you found yourself in when you were 16?
So actually what I do is I go into the schools or into the community, and we have 3 key programs per se. We have an early childhood prevention program, which is called I Promise. So it's prevention dedicated to young girls to get them to not have children at an early age. Then we have a program that's dedicated to young ladies who are currently pregnant or already have children, which is called MOM, Making Opportunities Matter. So how do we get you to thrive? How do we get you to not use your situation as a stumbling block so that you can still be successful and accomplish everything in your life that you set out to do? And then we do a lot of coaching and mentoring, and then we have a program which is our women's empowerment as well.
So you've got a lot of things going on here. You got the emotional thing that's going on with especially a girl who may be pregnant and out of wedlock. You've got that going. You've got the physical thing. There is life that's on its way to being born in this out of this young girl or young woman's body. You got all of that going, and there's and what about the girl's parents and the rest of her family? Are they involved in this as well?
Yes, so we do try to bring the parents involved. They're not always active, but that's kind of where we take a stance. We want to be the support system because not everyone has that opportunity. Our goal is to show them something different outside of their current dynamics so that they can see the possibilities and hope to be successful.
So how do people get in touch with you? If they make a phone call, they can get in touch with you?
Absolutely. They can make a phone call. They can visit our website, which is pregnantwithpossibilities.com. You can submit an inquiry. We're always looking for volunteers. If you want to get involved with the organization, if you need help, you can always call. You can send an email. There's so many ways. We're on social media. So many ways to get in touch with us.
Pregnantwithpossibilities.com.
That is correct.
We've got that on the screen, or you can go to that telephone number there, and that phone number, as you see at the bottom of the screen, 330-766-5016.
Correct.
How large an area do you try and serve now?
So we actually serve the surrounding areas of the greater northeastern Ohio, Cleveland area. We are open to travel within a distance. I know I'm actually born and raised in Warren, Ohio, and my mission is to go back to the city in which I was born in to give back and to make a difference as well.
Yeah. How is your life going now? You had a child at the age of 16?
Yes. I actually am married to the person I fell in love with at the age of 16. We now have 2 children, so we have a soon-to-be 13-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we've built a life for ourselves that's phenomenal, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
When you have help in doing this,
Absolutely.
What kind of staff are we talking? How many people are working with you, or generally speaking?
So we have a board which kind of oversees the organization, and then we just have a lot of volunteers. I'm the only full-time staff member that we have. Everyone else kind of volunteers their time to help us out.
I would imagine that a lot of young girls, when they contact you, they just fall into your arms, and you kind of mother them as they are getting ready to become mothers themselves.
Absolutely.
How does that impact your own life? Do you reflect on where you came from?
Absolutely, all the time. I'm extremely blessed to be where I am now. I'm thankful, and every day is different. So to be able to make a difference and make an impact within the young girls, I consider them all my babies. They're all my children. So even though I birthed 2, I have a lot of children within,
Veranda Rogers, look into your crystal ball in our final minute here. What do you see in the future? Where do you want to take Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center?
So my next goal for our organization with funding, but I'm going to put this out there, I want to do a residential component. So actually I had the opportunity to take a step back and look at why children are removed from their home or taken from their parents. So most of the time it's because of housing or there's lack of support. So in this residential component, it allows young women 6 months to a year to come and stay here. We mentor them in life skills, how to cook, how to get a job, how to do financial management, the whole nine. So I want to do that residential component. It's important to me.
Well, we wish you well with all of that, and many thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank you.
We'll put that phone number once again up on the screen if the control room would do that for me, 330-766-5016. You might want to write that down if you know somebody who is in this situation.
Absolutely.
Where Veranda Rogers can help them. And you're covering as much of Northeast Ohio as you can.
Absolutely. One step at a time.
One step at a time. That's how it is. Many thanks, Veranda Rogers, founder and CEO of Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm going to take a break. In a moment, we'll be back with my good friend and colleague, Marsha Maccabee, President and CEO of the Cleveland Urban League, after these words. We call this segment the Morning Exchange segment of Kaleidoscope. That means Marsha Maccabee, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, who always comes with something on her mind. Wonder what it is today.
I tell you, there's always something on my mind. Sometimes I can't go to sleep. There's so much on my mind. But thank you for the opportunity to share today, Leon. You know, as we approach the new administration that's going to be coming in January, it's really important, I think, that every year with any administration change, groups like the Urban League and civil rights organizations want to really look at having an agenda of what it is that is important to our communities, so that when we have the chance to lobby and advocate for those issues that are important to our communities, that we really have a game plan. And so we've been thinking about what are some of those things. And coming out of the National Urban League, you know, recently Mark Morial was here with us, and we are looking at something called the Urban Marshall Plan. And in this plan, there are 14 items of things that, from the African American community and really from a civil rights perspective, and also from a perspective of making sure that there are policies, procedures, and programs in place to support our communities.
And that is to rebuild these communities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Named after the Marshall Plan, which followed World War II after General Marshall, where they rebuilt Europe after World War II.
That's exactly right. I knew you would know that. So, my historian, so absolutely. And so now, though, this is an American Marshall Plan for the United States to rebuild, revitalize here in the United States. So what
in the coming months, we're going to have you, and we're going to have you talking about that in great detail.
I'll talk about each of the 14 points.
All right. Let's go and do it first. Thank you, Marsha. Take care, everybody.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.